my old rotary phone.
Oh, where'd you get it?
My dad bought it. He was using it for replacement parts, so he
faces here.
when
They go to our
my
faces here, none of that.
when my grandpa died, you know, like he still had a rotary phone downstairs in his basement.
Oh.
And it was the same rotary phone that all my aunts and uncles and everyone talked to their boyfriends and girlfriends on when they were growing up, you know. And so my mom wanted to keep that phone, so my dad took it off the wall and then bought another one just for replacement parts and stuff. But they actually hooked it up to their home phone. You can still use it to this day.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Dope. Yeah,
Alright.
I've seen those.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was like,
Would interrupt, Dave.
Sorry.
Jeez.
No, I've seen those at weddings. Like you can leave messages at weddings. on
Oh,
the
that's
phone.
cool. That's a cool idea. Yeah.
What episode are we on? 289. That's a lot of
Are we?
shows. What are we
Yeah.
doing for 300? I have no plans for 300.
Let me run 300. You don't worry about 300.
So no
I'll
show?
Worry about 300. So no show that day. 300 will just be the next week.
It'll just be you solo with a guitar singing songs.
Right? No.
All right. All right. I'm going to hit record on my recorder of choice. I'm rolling. Everybody else, let me know when you're rolling.
Yes,
I'm
1 2 1
rolling.
2 1 2 1 2.
All right. We're going to do a sync clap, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3 clap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Luckily, most motion
Beautiful.
designers can keep a beat.
Yeah. But if you ask them to return an email, nope, they
No.
won't do that. If you ask them
I
to read a
feel attacked.
contract, they won't do that.
There you go.
I feel attacked.
Mm.
It's like a full-time job. Emailing is a full-time job.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
True.
Yeah.
Dave handles it. And then I'll do the 3D.
Who's here? Jeremy, Sarah, Matt
Dave!
Milstead. Who's that?
What's up, Sage?
Sage.
I miss your face,
I
man.
miss Sage. Is he not coming
Sage,
to camp? What's
I
up
don't
with that?
know. I haven't really talked to him about camp. Sage, are you coming to camp? You can share a bunk with me and Nick.
All right. I think we're
I'll
rolling.
sleep on the top.
I think we're good. Everybody ready to go? Everybody feeling comfortable? Laid back?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I'm very laid back.
This is gonna
Good old painkillers. Yay.
That's funny. You didn't share with us. We could have had a whole painkiller episode.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
Yeah, I'll just mail them to you and then commit a federal crime.
No,
You
we-
should have had Big Pharma sponsor this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Dayquil.
This
Yeah.
this one is
Sponsored
sponsored
by
by
Tylenol.
Pfizer.
Yeah. All right. I think we're good to go. Let me just bring up my notes and we'll start this shindig going. Here we go.
Sage, if you change your mind, just let me know.
All right, here we go. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us today is our good friend Amanda Godreau.
Hey, what's up?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us, info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, show topic ideas, artist suggestions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, mograph.com. And
I like that you said TikTok first before mograph.com.
That's
Like
right.
our actual website.
That's right. I've been putting some stuff up there. I got so many comments on that last one I
Yeah,
did about
That
frame
last
rate.
one was pretty good.
Yeah,
That
it was
last one
funny.
pretty good.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. I got a couple other planned, some informative, some entertaining, or edutaining, as the kids say. And so if you have a question for us, anything about Mograph, and it could be technical, it could be like about the art itself. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's noob, if it's expert. If it's noob, we'll try and answer it. If it's expert, we'll give you some bad advice. Yeah, so this is your show. You're the producer. You get to decide what's on. You can just email us and be like, here you go. Bam.
Yeah.
This is my show.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about vertical farming for 2 hours.
Well, I'm Mograph related. Yeah. 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 I'm having a problem with my well. It's an artesian well. All right. So this week we don't have any emails. So nobody sent
So
us
no
an
one's the
email.
producer this week, so
Nobody's
it
the
looks like it's us.
So I guess we're gonna have to come up with something this week. I hope everybody had a good 4th. I had a good 4th. My brother came back in town, moved back in town, which was awesome. Got to hang out with him for like the first time in years because of COVID and such. And yeah, so I had a little issue recording last week. Hopefully, I don't have that this week where we just
you
run out of
space
room.
or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, what a mess! What a mess! I had to clean up my own mess on that. Like grabbing pieces of like different backup recordings and YouTube for some sections. So I apologize. So it should be a lot better this week. Knock on particle board. But been working on a TFD tutorial actually this week, and I'm through the first part, which is actually showing the TFD stuff, and then I'm gonna go into a breakdown of a little rocket ship I made with smoke and fire and things. But I've already got that first part edited, so it'll be an actual tutorial from us, which is
Right.
something. And so check that out, and then I think we've got 3D Motion Show coming up here in a couple weeks as well, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I think. So mark your calendars for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Brandon and Caitlin are just about done with their courses, and we've been scrambling to get them together. Pickle Nick is working really hard.
Killing it.
Like, there was like
Pickle Nick's the best.
he's the best.
He's so good.
Like there was a glitch in one of the recordings, and he hit up Brandon, and Brandon re-recorded it and sent it last night, and this morning Nick's already edited it, and I'm like, dang, dude, you're on point.
Yeah. If you were a good employee who like just knocks things out quickly, dude, you'll be very successful in life.
Yes. So here's an issue. I'm going to outsource some ideas here for Caitlin's course, because here's the problem. The course is on Procreate.
Right.
Okay. So how do you name a course about Procreate? Procreate with Caitlin. No, that's a bad idea. How to procreate. Let's procreate. Okay, let's not use the word procreate in the title, because there's no good way to use it without it sounding awful. Okay, so yeah, we've come to the conclusion now that it needs to be like a completely different name that doesn't have the word procreate in it, and then underneath it will say using Procreate or just something like that, right?
That's a good idea.
So I can't think of a good name. Like I've been struggling. Sometimes I'm really quick with a name, and sometimes I just struggle. And here's the thing. It needs to be somehow something that describes what you're doing, which is learning how to draw and animate in Procreate. But I don't want it to be called like iPad illustration.
Right.
It's like so boring, right?
Right. Where's the SEO on that? I mean, come on.
Yeah. And maybe it's for the better, because Procreate is bad SEO because you're going to get everything Procreate above that.
True.
Procreation.
So,
Procreations. We could
That's
just call
good,
it procreations.
Yeah.
But still, there's more to it than that. I'll have to talk about it after it's released, because it will make sense. But I don't want people to know some of the secrets about what's in the course. But it will be, what we're talking about will be even funnier when you see some of the drawings and why it was even more inappropriate by accident. So, yeah. All the things. All of a sudden we're running a real company and have to think about things like that. So we're gonna hopefully be seeing some more from Brandon and Caitlin soon. We're gonna have them on the show. We're gonna talk about their new courses and everything. So that'll be fun. And what else do we have here? Camp Mograph. Let's do some updates on camp.
Camp Mograph. And we haven't played that song in a while.
Amanda's going to camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and your boyfriend and one of your friends, right? Is that?
Yeah. We're all going. We're all super excited. It's gonna be dope.
It is going to be so much fun. I have been so pumped about this. We've been working on like all the patches. So a couple weeks ago I went through and I just made a huge list of everything that we needed to do. And we've been working like the last camp we worked in like just a shared Google sheet. And then we started a new shared Google sheet and stuff like that, but we just moved everything over to Notion. And oh man, it's like
it's so like
it's
data
very
nerd.
organized.
It's so cool. Like
yeah,
every
cool,
person you can rearrange what cabin they're in visually, and it all links back to the database. And oh my gosh,
it's going to be very cool. So and we've got a whole list of stuff we need to do, and it's like, okay, we gotta make patches for all the sponsors and stuff like that. So getting to make the patches and getting to make the flags and doing the banners and all this other stuff, like the more we do this, the more pumped I get for camp, and it's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait.
And we start talking to like the instructors about the details of their course.
Yeah, we've been having meetings with all the instructors. I think we've only got like 2 meetings left. But hearing what the instructors have planned for camp, it's going to be oh man, I'm so pumped for it. So, and we have some surprises as far as people who are coming. We haven't announced anything like that. We probably won't.
Some stuff won't be announced. Look, yeah, you're just going to show up. There's going to be people hanging out.
This person is here. Wow.
Yeah.
They're very famous.
Yeah.
So
yes.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
There's also some stuff we're working on for next year as well, not camp wise, but just as far as meetups go, that I think are gonna be really interesting. Well, I'm thinking about it, getting back in the swing, doing meetups and things. So
I'm so excited to do meetup. Like honestly, so I'm like this. I don't know. This year it's been crazy. We've worked so hard, like we had one big project that we got done with, and then it's like, okay, now Dave just went on vacation. I'm about to take a 2-week-long vacation. And then after that, it's like, okay, then it's camp, and then it's NAB, and now we're back into the swing of things of meetups and everything, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for it. So,
yeah.
Oh, then we're going to LA for a couple days in August as well.
Yeah, you got to get ready for NAB.
Gotta get ready.
All that
NAB.
equipment's been gathering dust for the last couple of years through COVID, right. So I make sure it still works. So yeah,
all the Camp Mograph stuff, super excited for it. It's going to be so much fun. And of course, we couldn't have done it without all of our amazing sponsors. We tried to keep the tickets as cheap as possible. Thanks to our sponsors, our village sponsors, Maxon, Otoy, and Video Copilot. Big shout out to our gold sponsors, Minimal Massive, Grayscale Gorilla, and De Facto Sound, who we just added a few weeks ago. And then our bronze sponsors, AE Scripts and School of Motion. One last thing on Camp Mograph. We're sending out an email. Sorry, I told everyone last week that I was going to send out an email that week. I did not get to it. So we had a bunch of other stuff that we were working on. We were working on booking flights, and I'd say book your flight as soon as possible because ticket prices are starting to go up.
Yes.
We're
going to send out a form eventually too, where you can put out all your information. So if you didn't have that information when you signed up for your ticket, you'll be able to enter all of that. And I'm sure a
lot of people, like I said at the beginning of the show, motion designers don't read emails or read any of the stuff that they're signing, and so no one knew that they needed to email shuttle@campmograph.com. So we're going to send out an email that will have a Google Forms link that will give your flight info if you're planning on taking the shuttle, and then we build the shuttle
schedule around that
based off of that, so that we're not just running cars every 30 minutes and wasting time and stuff like that. It's just like we'll be able to build the shuttle schedule, and then y'all will know what time it'll be. And
it's our dedicated van too. Like it's a Camp Mograph van. It's not like a service we hired. This is going to be our.
We've got people from camp actually driving the shuttle. We've got like a big magnet on the side that says Camp Mograph, and it's like a 15-passenger van that we're gonna have to actually take out some seats so that we can handle luggage and stuff like that.
We should just tell people he's got to stay in the van the whole time.
Right.
He's just got to go back and forth all day and just.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. You're actually driving.
He's driving. Get in, bro.
Come on, bro.
Oh, no way, bro.
Go on the road,
Let's get over to the camp, bro. Yeah.
Is there a specific time people should like land before,
Okay.
like when they're buying tickets?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So, we're starting the camp on the 8th around noon, and then it basically goes until that Sunday at noon. Like noon on Sunday is we're kicking everyone out. We're actually leaving ourselves,
It's kind of the wind
but-
down time on Sunday morning.
Right, exactly.
So,
but the thing is, on Thursday when people get in, we're saying, hey, come in around noon. But if your flight's a little bit earlier, just let us know. We can build around that. We're gonna be there on the 8th. On that Wednesday, setting everything up and getting prepared and stuff like that. So we'll be there. So if you show up at like 9 a.m. or whatever, it's like it's not gonna be a complete disaster.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the end of the world. We understand flights are flights, and you can't control that entirely. So we'll send out the shuttle schedule. We're also going to send out, if for some reason someone missed like wanting to buy a hoodie or something like that, we're also going to send out a link, or basically an order form, to where you can order it ahead of time and then just pay for it at camp.
And most of that information we're going to get on the sheet really helps us, again, with the schedule, but it helps us kind of get an idea of when you're going to come to check in, because we have a whole check-in process, and just kind of an idea of, okay, there's like 4 people that are coming in on this next shuttle. We got to be here to check them in, and it helps us through that whole process. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and to have all your information correct, like as far as emergency contacts and all of that.
Yes.
So
emergency contacts, especially, and like I know everyone filled that stuff out when buying the tickets, but it's really good to know who's allergic to what and who needs special stuff.
Now, I don't think I can remember all that information, but I'm trying to remember people's faces. And
yes, this is so funny.
This is either I don't know, everybody's gonna think this is either super cool or super creepy, but
it is cool in the sense that like you are trying to do this, because I'm terrible with names. I'm okay with faces, but I never remember people's names, but I love this. Go ahead.
I've got about maybe a third memorized so far. I haven't gotten everybody's headshot put in the system yet, but because everybody's in the database, we have everybody's headshot in there. And so I'm trying to do a version in Notion to where you can't see the name. So it just just the face comes up, and then you say who that person is, you know, and then you click and you can see if you got it right. So far I have about a third of the campers memorized, and you just show me a picture and I can tell you. And some of them I can even say, well, I think that one person, Anthony, actually might go by TJ or something like that, because their email address is this. So when they get there, I'm going to be like, so do you go by TJ? Or, that's not creepy,
Dave's just
right?
stalking everyone who comes to camp.
No, I like it because I'm looking at people's website in order to see who they are, and I'm looking at their work, and I'm looking at where they're from, and it's really cool. I'm like getting to know all of these people, and I want to be able, when they walk in to check in, be like, oh, hey, Maria, you're here.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
I like Iceland too, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. Hopefully not creepy. Don't take it as creepy, please.
Don't take it as creepy.
Trying to keep this whole community vibe going,
Yeah, totally.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so is that it for camp? We're good on the camp stuff?
That is it for camp, yes.
All right. Real quick, I wanted to go to Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
This is our rendering segment. And the R this week is not Redshift. It's actually RenderMan, because RenderMan 24 came out for everything but Cinema 4D. What's going on there? What's up with that?
What, RenderMan?
Yeah.
For everything but cinema. I don't know. Like, I remember a few years ago they were going to show off a version, but then they just didn't. So.
Well, it's in like Blender and everything. So.
Yeah.
But some of the features that I've been looking at, it looks really cool. I mean, I don't have any specific reason why I would use it over anything else, but I mean, Pixar though. It's kind of like,
I would love to know it personally.
Yeah. But I don't really know much about it, but I was looking at how fast it was. They added the interactive stuff, which I guess they didn't really have before. And they call it XPU, meaning it's kind of a mix of CPU and GPU together.
Yeah.
And, of course, there's ACEs, because ACEs.
course.
Everybody's got to have
right.
aces, even if you don't know
Right.
what it is or how to use it. You got to make sure it has
Right.
aces. And they used to have C++ patterns for noises and
Oh,
shaders
cool.
and things, and they've converted that over to OSL.
Oh,
So you got
That's cool.
OSL, and there's a link. I'll put it in the show notes. You can check it out. If you're doing Houdini though, or Blender or something, and you want to check out their engine. I don't know anything about price. This could be free for all
Yeah.
I know, or it could be super expensive. I have no idea.
Yeah,
on
no
that,
idea.
so yeah, but that's all I got. I don't know if anything else is going on in the world of hardware, or I haven't even gotten
No, I
to.
think we covered everything like the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Redshift and Octane and stuff like that. There may have been a new version of Octane. I don't know. There's a new one every week.
But I haven't
feel
even
like.
gotten
Yeah.
updates or anything about like video card, like where 3090s. Best Buy has not
Yeah.
even had 3090s in
Yeah.
stock. Even the small amount that they did have, that hasn't even been happening. What's going on with them?
I'm curious if with the crackdown in of crypto stuff in China, whether we're gonna see an influx of new cards and stuff like that, or even used cards.
I don't think in China they even use those cards. I thought they used a special
Yeah,
CPU
I think they
for
use
Bitcoin.
probably specific mining cards.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I've
Anyway,
seen a lot of people with 3090s like on Instagram. I feel like everyone has it, but I haven't seen them like sold anywhere.
it's like
Yeah.
a status symbol now.
Right.
Yeah.
We have 10.
We do have 10.
We need 2 more.
I gotta, that's our status symbol. Now we do
Yeah.
need 2 more actually. That's why we're still looking for them. But
Yeah.
we hadn't upgraded in a long time, so we
Yeah,
spent the money
yeah.
on it. It's gonna last us for years at this point, hopefully. Until next year,
Until
4090s, it's like 10 times as good. Oh,
yeah.
well, time
But
to trade.
then, like there'll be a big everyone will want them, and then we can just sell our 3090s for basically the same price as what we bought them
Right.
for, if not more.
We'll be rich.
We'll be rich. Step 1, buy graphics cards. Step 2,
Question mark.
step 3,
Profit.
profit.
Anyway, Amanda, let's talk about you now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Oh.
your entire career and your long career. Your entire
My decades of experience.
decades of experience.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. I want to know exactly how you got into this industry in the first place. And then we'll kind of talk about school a little bit, because you are a student of Mr. David Brodeur, or Brilly.
I love David.
Who's that guy? That guy sucks.
Yeah.
The worst. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's like a really complicated question for me, like an answer, because I think like a lot of people encounter motion graphics like through like tutorials online or like animation. They kind of know that that's what they want to do, and like I completely fell into it like by accident. Like I always tell people, like if I would have made like one small decision differently, I would not be here. Like I just wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Where
know
would
that
you
this
be?
existed. God, doing 1,000 other things. I don't know.
Okay.
An accountant, maybe?
I like so many things. I really like accounting. I love real estate. I like interior design. My background is in photography. I think like the reason I ended up in motion graphics is because I tried so many different things that were very artistic. So like in high school, I'm like a psychopath. I've been working forever. Like when I was 14, my mom used to drive me like 2 hours to be someone's like wedding photographer assistant. I would like
Nice.
hold flashes, right?
Yeah.
I would like hold flashes and
I worked
like
at a grocery store.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, that's a lot
My-
better.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was like so cool.
I'm sure it
and-
paid better. I got paid $4.75 an hour.
Yeah, it did, but I was only doing it like once a week. And I like talked to like clients, and like I had to like manage like brides on like their wedding day.
Oh,
and
man.
like,
Oh, that's yeah.
when I was like
Yikes.
14, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so scared. And then I like went into film, and then I decided to go to school for graphic design. And that's actually how I ended up at my current university at Ringling. Is I went through the graphic design program. And when you do that, they require you to take a class that they call 4D, which is just like motion design, like knowing how to use After Effects animation. And a professor told me to switch, and I was like, I love graphic design. Like, I could never see myself not being as a designer. I do like this as much though. And he was like, you should switch, give it a try. You know, if you decide you never want to animate again, you know how to do it. But if you go the other way, you can never learn how to animate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I ended up in motion.
And then you realized you liked it then.
Yeah, I think like I love designing to the idea of music and stuff. I feel like I'm very weird in the sense where I don't love animating per se. I don't like keyframes. I'm not passionate about that, right? But I am passionate about like designing to timing, designing to music, designing to audio. And I think that's like a lot of where my love comes from. And then I met David.
Yeah.
So like when
It all changes when we meet David Brodeur.
that's
doesn't
true.
It?
Yeah. So how did you know? Like, how did you know that you liked it? Was it because you were starting to do those things like with audio, and is that kind of how it happened? And when was it something specific? Like, were you doing 2D animation or 3D at that point?
I was doing 2D, and I think what I liked about motion and what sold me on changing departments is the way that they pitched it to me, right? They're like, you're never going to be doing the same thing. You could be doing 2D
That
one
is
day,
for sure. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And doing 3D, and you can still incorporate like your photo and video background, and really make like your own mixed media work. And I was like, sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
That's a really
you can
good way of describing it. I like that because I sometimes feel as a motion designer you have to wear many different hats: graphic designer, photographer, 3D animator, particle sims and stuff like that. It's like, you kind of have to
You have to know about physics and all these other things, and I think that's really good though, because you're bringing in the photography experience and the different interests, like you said, interior design or whatever. You can bring all that into 3D, and you can even use accounting. If you like accounting, then you're really going to love running your own business,
right?
Yeah.
So
it's fun.
Them spreadsheets.
I think that's why I liked 3D so much. Like 3D is just like photography, right? Like you light things and you stage things, and that was really familiar to me. The software wasn't, but that's when having like great professors comes in,
Yeah.
So.
So what have you been working on in school? We'll start with that first. Like, what are some of the projects that you worked on that you really enjoyed?
I think most of the projects I enjoyed stem from like my 3D class and my first semester of design. The way that it works is Ringling works on like a really, really tight schedule. So we're taking usually anywhere from 2 to 3 like art motion design classes, and each one has a project that's running simultaneously. So like at the same time you're working on 3 different briefs with 3 different like set of deliverables, and it's pretty insane. And I think my favorite briefs weren't the ones that were like kind of like mock client briefs. I think my favorite were the ones where you're like, learn this specific aspect, like, right? Like learn hard surface modeling. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what it is. Just learn it and express it the way that you want to do. And I think those are my most successful projects, is when like learning is at the basis of what I'm doing.
That's how I generally do tutorials. It's like, I got to learn how to do something. Let me just make a tutorial, because you end up breaking it down.
And then you can always go back to that tutorial whenever you forget how to do it.
Yeah.
That's the worst, actually, because it's like, no, I don't. I'm going to do a Google search, and then my own tutorial would come up for something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I should know this. Or it also means that that's not going to be the answer, because I would have known that. I don't know. Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah. And what do you do specifically in Brodeur's class?
So his is an intro to 3D, which I think he's stellar at teaching, but I'm also like highly pissed off that he is not teaching more advanced classes because he's like a genius. So he like teaches like what we do is like, you know, like learn hard surface modeling, like how to even like put a light in a scene, like what do displacement maps do, organic modeling, like just sprinkling over like different aspects of what makes good 3D design. And, you know, he really leaves it open to like how much effort you want to put in and like what you want to do.
And are the things that you're putting on your Instagram, are these from school, or are these from like independent projects or
So it really depends. Like a lot of what I post on Instagram, I think used to be a lot of schoolwork. I think my latest stuff is a lot more of like my personal explorations or like mistakes that I make while I'm trying to make something else that I think are really cool, or a combination of like client work. I try not to post as much like client work as much just because
Yeah, and
personal.
that was gonna be my question too. Is like, are you doing a lot of client work on the side as you're learning?
Yeah, I mean, my junior year was kind of very, I think it was just like massive for me, career wise, and also like just like creatively. I was going to school full time remotely when this whole pandemic happened, and then I would full time freelance on top of that. So I would put in my headphones and listen to like lectures and write down what like the critiques that I had for my projects and work on studio projects. And then when I got off of work at studios, or like 7 or 9, depending on like what time frame, then I would do my homework until like midnight one, and then
man.
wake up at like 6 a.m. and do it all over again.
So you
That is the only way to be successful in school. It sucks. You know, there were so many people who I went to school with who just thought that they could just coast through, you know, just by doing some of the work or whatever. But it's like, I will say 80% of the people who I graduated with or graduated within, you know, one semester with me or whatever, 80% of them aren't doing that anymore. Like Michael Scott's up there.
the watch
80% of them aren't in the industry anymore. And you know, even me, I went in for video production and sound, and technically I'm in motion graphics and 3D animation now, you know. Guess you could say the same about me, but I always enjoyed editing. I don't know.
I was looking for
I
the
agree.
watch thing that you did. You did the watch thing. I saw the one post. Have you messed with Houdini then too?
Like so lightly. Like I've done a couple of racks in Houdini. I did like that cloth sim that you played in the like half of it was hidden by a match cut. So like Houdini in the end, Cinema 4D in the beginning. But I like I'm trying to learn it very slowly.
Love
So
this
little.
piece.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Oh God. It was great. Like mixed mixed memories.
The match cuts. C4D in the front, Houdini in the back. It's like
Houdini
a 3D
in the
mullet.
Like a 3D mullet.
It's a 3D mullet. Yeah, I love that.
This one, I remember this one.
Yeah.
This was, how far back are we now? We're back to last summer at this point. I'm just going back through your entire library here. There was the one with the watch though. That one was for a client, right?
The what? No, that
Or
was
no?
a school project for Brody.
Okay. Maybe that's.
And like I do a lot of like I used to do a lot of product, but I don't usually post it. But that was like that got me a lot of like work. They were like, "This is for a real company," and I was like, "No."
I remember. I'm pretty sure like he showed me that piece or something at one point. I think that's how I originally saw it.
Yeah, it's probably on my website, which is having a little glitch right now, but it's probably on my website. But I think with like working in school, like I definitely feel like I have to say like I would not recommend. Like don't do it. Like I would not recommend anyone else to do it.
It's a lot, but I mean
It's a lot.
but that's like Matt said. That's how you make it. I mean, you could go and quote unquote like coast through and get a degree or whatever, but if you don't put the extra effort into it, that's the thing. I know plenty of people who have gone to great schools and just can't get a job because they didn't put in the extra effort. And it's like, yeah, you've got the degree, but your reel doesn't look good. It's like, yeah. I saw that one.
Love that.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I said I love how the farther back you go, you can tell like the worse the work gets.
That's
I don't think so. I think it's good. I think it's all good.
I want to know
Like
about
I
the
wish I
sci-fi
wish
thing.
I had this type of portfolio coming out of college, you know? It's
Right.
like I would have killed for that.
That's so sweet.
Probably not actually killed, but still.
Tell me about the sci-fi piece because were you doing like frame by frame with that?
Yeah, we have to take a whole semester of like stop motion. And this was one of the projects where we have to do like a whole sci-fi ID. Everything is stop motion, the letters, the pup, everything. It's
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, it
How
was
is
a
this
super
set up
festival.
though?
I
Like
mean, but it gives you, you know, it introduces you to like a lot of the basic animation principles and
right.
stuff like that, you
Yeah.
know? Just cool.
Yeah.
Ha-
So like
Yeah.
the way that this is set up is like that light box. This is done in dragon frame. So we just use like paper cutouts that our professor had given us. So like he gave us the sci-fi and everyone had to use like the same dragon puppet. Like the
I
idea
see.
was like you had to be creative with like the limited materials that you gave you. So like everyone has the same puppets. You just have to make the story your own. And then you like just put a background in post and that's it.
And the thing is though, like when I go through your Instagram feed, you know, I mean, you can see your progression as well. All this stuff is great, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the nice thing about it. You kind of seem like you look at it and you're like, oh, don't show that one. But I think it's great. I don't have much on my Instagram, and I don't have much like on really anywhere kind of like this where I could go back and see what my progression looked like. I just have old reels that I can't stand watching. So
Yeah. My current reel, I can't stand watching.
your current reel.
I relate
Yeah.
to that.
That I
Yeah.
haven't updated in 4 years.
How's that
Because all
really
the
been
work that
working
I've
on?
done is NDA and I can't put anything
Yeah.
on there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So how much time do you have left at Ringling?
I have a year left, so I have the fall semester that I can choose to enter instead of like being at school,
Mm-hmm.
and then a final semester that's like a thesis project, and then I'm done.
And then what?
awesome.
That's the question.
That is the question. I have no clue. Like I have no like I just don't know what I'm doing because I feel like if you would have asked me,
That's don't worry, none of us do.
Yeah.
None of us know
Like-
what we're doing.
Yeah.
I feel like if you would have asked me God, 2 years ago, I would have had like this detailed plan about where I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And it's just like this year has been so unpredictable that like I don't know where I'm going to be artistically in a year or like what I'm going to want out of my life. I think right now, post grad, what I'm prioritizing is jobs in places where I can have an input in design, in story, in development, right? Like I have something to say and I want to go someplace that really values like not just my skills, but like me as an artist.
Right. And are you
Yeah.
are you interning? Are you allowed to say anything about where you're interning or no?
I can't 'cause
Okay.
it's not final yet.
All right. When it's final, you can let us know.
Yeah.
You can just post it in the Slack.
I will.
Yeah. So what about upcoming personal projects? Do you have enough time, first of all, I guess? Or are you waiting till after school to really dive into anything like that? Like something big? Or do you have something brewing? Or is it a secret?
I feel like no, it's gonna be post grad. Like I think along the lines of like when I said I wouldn't recommend anyone like working full time, like artistically on top of like doing like 5 projects. It's like I'm currently like in the worst burnout of my life. Like like I've been on hiatus and
Yeah.
I have like a lot of things I want to do. I think like within the next year, definitely. Like right now I'm working on a small personal project with a friend, but definitely taking a break for now.
Well, hopefully
You got
camp will help.
senioritis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Senioritis. Yeah, maybe camp will help with that. You know, that
I'm
disconnect.
so excited.
I just keep
I
hearing
I'll
more
be
and more
right
about
back.
that.
Sorry, guys.
All the time. That's what I hear is that if you're getting that burnout, you just got to stop and get your inspiration. You got to get your inspiration from other places,
Mhm.
whatever that is. And
Yeah.
it's so true. I mean, I feel like the best animation that I've made in the last couple years that I really felt like I put something into was inspired from something completely random. and not somebody else's art. And to me, that's where it comes from. You got to take a break, get away from the computer screen, get away from the TikTok, whatever it is, and just get it from
It's
somewhere
so
else.
important.
Yeah.
It's so important. And it's really hard, right? Because like you get all these opportunities that it feels like you have to say yes, or it feels like if you say no, nothing like this will ever come again.
Right.
But
And
if you're just,
well, I imagine as a student too, that's kind of a tough thing too, because if something comes up and you just don't have the time for it, but it's a big gig, it's like that's got to be a huge feeling of like, I mean, almost like FOMO, I guess, in a way.
yeah.
You know, and we've had some come across our desk like that before. Either it's a project that falls through, or somebody else gets the bid. That's like, oh, this would be such a great project, and someone else wins the bid. That's such a, it's like, feels,
Yeah.
you know. And then you got stuff like the hurricane coming at you. Are you safe?
I don't like.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm from Puerto Rico, so like, God, I hope I don't jinx this. Like Florida hurricanes, I'm like it's fine. It's like, so I don't know. I think it's gonna be here Tuesday, but I think I should be fine. But I really don't know.
So did you grow up there, or when did you? You said you're from there. At what age did you end up? You're in Florida now, so have you been? Like, when did you move here? Have you been in Florida the whole time, or?
No, I moved here 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I am from Puerto Rico. Like my first language is Spanish. My second language is English, and I lived there for like I want to say like 19, 20 years of my life, and then now I moved to Florida to come to Ringling. But other than that, I've just lived back home.
Cool. I don't know what Matt's doing.
He's going on an
Those
adventure.
painkillers. There he is. What's up, dude?
Sorry, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
The painkillers hitting you too hard?
No, I forgot to go to the bathroom before the show, so, and then I'm about to take another painkiller right now. So.
Oh man,
let's get
going
crazy.
hardcore. We're gonna get to the NFT segment. And you're just gonna be all loopy.
I'm gonna be like, this is the best NFT ever.
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
All of you.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. My question, I guess, would be, what are you? Besides, I mean, obviously, you know, maybe do projects and things, and you want to work somewhere. Have you thought about just doing freelance, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like after graduation, like asking for artistic control or like being able to like design or work under art directors, I don't feel like that's an easy ask for like a lot of people to swallow, especially for someone who is coming out of school. And that's like one of the biggest thing I've encountered, right? They're like, there's a lot of times, this is a funny story actually, well, not that funny, but I have a lot of people reaching out and be like, hey, we love your portfolio, come for the senior position, not knowing I'm in school, right? And then I interview, and then I'm like, actually, you know, like I can do this project, but I'm in school, and like something doesn't align, so I'm like, I'm in school. And then they're like, cool, so like, do you want to be part of our internship program? And I'm like,
yeah, it's like you go from a senior position to
Right.
an internship.
and I'm
It's
like, no, like you think because I'm in school, you can pay me less, even though you
Right.
think my skills are at a senior level.
Right.
Like that
Right.
just doesn't align with me,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I think like freelance as of right now is like my most hopeful option to continue to be able to like be very selective about the projects I take on, or like really make sure that the projects I do I feel passionate about.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
it's nice to go somewhere though to at least learn kind of like the process, like the workflow process, the studio process, even for a
Yes.
little bit. You know, if you've never done it before, I hear a lot of people give that advice because it's just.
Well, what's funny is it's also so different in every studio, you know?
Right.
Like the way we run things is different than the way Already Been Chewed runs things, which is different than the way some of these
Right.
other studios run things, you know? Yeah.
But,
yeah, and it's like I said, I would love to, right? But I don't think it's the right thing for me artistically to do that if I'm just not happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people will go to there's a lot of people that go to school and they do have like a really like amazing portfolio, like right from the get-go. Like I don't like Brienne wait, what's her new name?
Brienne Gag.
No, what's her new name now?
Brie Marie.
Brie Marie. And like who will just have an amazing portfolio and right out of school they're going somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And I
She
think,
went straight to Buck, right?
yeah, I think a lot of people
Yeah.
do that, and then they'll go somewhere like that, and then they hop off and do freelance, and it makes sense. And
Yeah.
I don't blame anybody for doing that. I think a lot of times what happens with these studios is like they find these really great talented artists, but like they're too good to be able to hang on to. You know, that's got to be tough as a place like Buck, or even like Facebook bringing on like really talented artists. And then it's like, okay, well, this is all well and good, but I'm going to go do my own thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's good to
But
learn
then
the business
Facebook
process.
pays you Facebook money.
Well, yeah, that's,
You know,
wait,
it's
is that,
like, all right, I'll go work for the devil.
yeah, what's your price?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, it all depends on like studios. There's like it's definitely not everyone, right? Like I've had some amazing conversations with like some studios and agencies and like companies that seem really like open to like changing the way things have like regularly been done. And I think that's like really hopeful for other people.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably do really well on that, even on
think
the
you'll do
business
very
side,
well.
because
Yeah.
like we were talking about nerding out about like accounting things before the show.
Yeah.
It's like if that's your deal, you're really gonna love it because you can like do that separation, and if like you're not into the art side, just move over to you know, your burn sheet and just go calculate your
Right.
income,
Yeah.
expenses.
My
and-
accountant loves me.
yeah,
He loves me. Like I have
Our
a
accountant
spreadsheet.
hates us.
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got our little rundown sheet the other day, and it's like, here's your vendor sheet. Now let us know what all these are, not vendors, but like your client sheet, like all these clients. What do you do for all these clients? It's like 3D animation, 3D animation, 3D animation. We're very easy in that, but yeah, when it comes to the accounting stuff, like my head just, I can do it, but I don't like it. I don't like it, you know. I am a nerdy spreadsheet person, but when it comes to like accounting terms and things that I don't understand, I just glaze over. Like I can't even Google the things without my head just like hurting, because it's like, is this the real law? Is this the federal law? Is this the local state law? I don't even know. And then there's like 50 terms that I don't understand that I have to go Google those terms to understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just leave it to the professionals, in my opinion. But, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So, I had another question for you a minute ago, and I can't remember what it is.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
We were talking about studios, and we were talking about internships, and we were talking kind of like, if that helps at all.
What is your ultimate, not company to work for as an artist, but what is like your ultimate get as far as like a project you like to work for somebody else?
I don't think I have a dream project because I really have fun with like all kinds of brief. Like I'm really boring. Like you give me like a toothbrush and I'll like be like, yeah. But like I think my dream is to be able to be a creative director or be in a position where I'm not just looking at like having my hands dirty in like the files and everything else, but over to like oversee things, look at visions from like a general sense. I really think I'm good at that, and I really want to be able to creative direct or art direct at some point in my career.
Do you feel like you're
I'm
more into like
sure
two?
you'll be there. Like, yeah, you've got the talent to where it's not going to be long.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you think you're more? Do you feel like more comfortable with 2D or 3D? Like, what's your favorite place to be in, or app actually, like application wise?
I think I'm gonna say 3D just because the way I approach 3D is in a very 2D way. So like if I wanted to make something very graphic and, you know, play with type and composition, I could still do that with cinema, and I couldn't do the reverse, right? Like if I wanted to add dimension or depth or,
Right.
I mean, you can, it's just
A lot of
a
work.
really long
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Definitely
See, when
3D.
Matt and I are slightly older, and when we were younger, there was there was very little access to certain types of programs. Obviously, the technology was not where it is now.
Yeah.
So it's really cool being able to jump in straight to GPU renders, straight to really amazing programs. What are some of the other? I mean, you got After Effects, you got Cinema 4D, little Houdini. There's some other programs you've been working with, like
Photoshop.
Yeah.
I
Photoshop,
love
yeah.
Photoshop. Like every single render I do that is even in 3D goes through Photoshop. I know I'm gonna probably get like so much hate for that.
No,
but,
not at all. Like that's the last company I worked for before I jumped off, for Nexus Motion full time was like it was all stills, but a majority of the things we'd render it with different passes, and then we just work in Photoshop for hours, Yeah.
I love that. I was just on like Discord working with my friend like on our small personal project, and he's like, rotate the composition, rotate it, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm going to do it in post.
Yeah.
Because like he works very much in render, and I'm like, I just render out a bunch of like stills as assets.
Right.
And then I work in Photoshop, and then if I like something, I'll be like, I wonder if I can do this in 3D, right? But like the flexibility of like post and like having that flexibility, especially for like my background is in photography, it's in comping, it's in doing all these things. It's like very much like playtime for me when I'm in Photoshop.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of Photoshop back in the day because when I was on the road and I was doing like live graphics and things, it wasn't really like animated graphics. It was a lot of still stuff, and I got really good at Photoshop. The problem is though, moving into 3D for me is it's still kind of destructive. I'm like kind of a procedural nerd when it comes to a lot of things, so that's why now
smart layers. You got smart layers.
Yeah, you do have smart layers, but there's certain things where it's just like, I don't know. I prefer to go into After Effects to comp something sometimes. Like, I don't know. Like adjustment layers and things like that work differently in Photoshop. And so I feel like sometimes I wish, even though it's almost like it's taking a step back, I feel like sometimes being able to comp in a way that you would in After Effects, but in Photoshop would be nice. It's kind of hard to explain, but I know a lot of people that do that. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna comp this in After Effects real quick.
That's what I do. I do. I get 85% of the way there, and then I'll comp everything in After Effects.
Yeah.
Or if there's other stuff where I know it's like, all right, I'm just going to use a video file, or like I'm going to use a fake explosion or something like that. Or I will do a lot of particles separately from my actual render and then just comp those in like it was actual footage. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
What about things like real-time game engines, VR, AR? Do you have any interest in any of that, or is that just kind of a whole nother?
I think I do. I'm not like 100% sure because I haven't done any of it. And I think like it's just like I would love to get my hands dirty with that. Right now, I don't think it's like accessible for someone who doesn't want to drop like serious cash.
And I think that's kind of a hard thing because as an artist, when you kind of have your system down, your tools and everything, you're working with things that are not real time. To move over to real time can be kind of weird. It's this whole other like gaming area over here.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing to keep an eye on because you don't know what's going to happen in the next 20 years in this industry. Have you tried any like VR apps or anything as far as like painting or?
I really haven't, just because like I don't have a VR headset. I don't know anyone who has a VR headset. Like part of
now
my
you
talking...
do.
Now you do. Yeah.
Now I do, but like it's just like not super accessible, and like so like ping pong off what we were talking about, like the industry changing is like I 100% agree it's gonna change, right? But like I think some of the best advice that I've ever gotten in my entire career is from like my professor freshman year. Her name is like Nora. And she was like, I don't care what program you like work in. Like if you're a good designer, you're a good designer. Period.
Right.
Like there's no ifs, whens, or buts.
Yeah.
which is when I started using 3D. I feel like the reason why David like saw something in me and my peers saw something in me is because like I still don't like I'm still not the most technical person, right? But like good design across any medium is good design. So I'm not really
100%.
worried.
Yeah,
But,
100%.
totally.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. It's a weird time right now with all of that and these industries just kind of waving around and kind of merging but not quite.
Mhm.
And even the advisory board of the college that I'm on this advisory board for this college in Dallas, a group of colleges now, and the discussion comes up when we're talking about curriculum. It's like, well, what about the Unreal stuff? What about the VR, AR? What about, because they already, of course, have classes that are in a completely different department about how to like make games and learn how to code, but these two departments aren't talking to each other when it comes to art or when it comes to real time. And so the question always comes up like, well, what do we do here? And like right now, the answer is like, I don't really know, because I don't know what to tell you about where it's going. I know, VR, AR goods and things are coming, but have you tried any?
It's really hard to advocate that like at a college level because Ringling also has a game art department and people are working in Unreal, right?
Yeah.
But it's very hard to get that across like boards of trustees and budgets and resources.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting, I think, next 10 years. I think we're really going to see. Have you done anything in clothing like Marvelous Designer or any of that?
No, I haven't.
I would love to see your
to.
process. Like sit down and watch you do a project. Especially talking about doing the renders and then bringing them over to After Effects and stuff. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like so much fun. I just like see it as playing. I'm just like building on stuff, and I don't care what software it comes from.
Yeah.
And Marvelous is it like trips me out. Like I think it's so cool. I just don't have like a copy myself.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating to me, honestly.
It is so intimidating. Yeah.
But who are some of your inspirations and influences?
I think a lot of my inspiration within motion design, there's this artist, her name is Yas and Vincente. She like does a lot of like architectural stuff. There's like Secret Swim Club. He's a freelancer from the UK. Dope 3D work. I think a lot of my inspiration, like when I'm building my projects, comes from sculpture work and theater production. I love theater stages because it's like design, just like with bare minimum, and I think that's really beautiful. I also love illustrators. I love everyone's work. I don't think I like a specific person. If that's, I feel so weird because I feel like people always have a favorite.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. I don't think I have like a specific one piece of. I mean, besides David Ariev,
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I had another question for you too, and it completely slipped my mind. Any other questions? Anybody in the chat have any questions before we go on to the next segment here? Going once, going twice. Matt, you got anything? No,
I just got a notification that his auction ended for his site. We can save that for the drop.
Ooh, okay, we'll save that.
That'll be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Beeple owes me a follow. He owes me.
Beeple owes you a follow?
Oh man.
He does. I got beef with Beeple.
Oh man. How come he's not?
Camp about
why
that.
Why does he owe you a follow?
So he came to our class. David brought him. David's gonna kill me. He brought him on to like talk to us, and he like challenged us like a 30-day of everydays. And he's like, he posted us to our story. He's like, if you do this, I'll follow you. And then a bunch of us did it. And then he like blew up at that point.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I'm like, next time I see you.
Camp. You
Yeah.
gotta go to him at camp and
He'll
be like,
follow you at camp.
yeah, you will.
At this point, I kind of want him not to follow me so it can be like an ongoing joke.
Yeah, there you go.
or you should go ahead and just block him. So when he tries to,
Yeah.
it says, no, this person has blocked you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find you.
100%.
I can't find you on Instagram. What's the deal?
So weird.
Yeah, weird. So, when you come to camp, I think that you should definitely like sit down and chat with him, have a one-on-one, and be like, I heard that when you do 100 dailies, you get $100.
True.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think you
People
should
will
up that
pay
to
you
1,000. But
$100 if you do 100 dailies
yeah,
in a row.
I heard that somewhere. I don't know where
It's true.
it came from, but it's true either way. Yeah.
And eventually, it'll make it to $100 million if you're like people. Yep.
I know. My joke with my friends that did the challenge is like, we're gonna wait for the 1-year anniversary, and then for the 1 year, we get a $1 NFT from people.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be great? He just gives you a $1 NFT and then you sell it for $50,000.
That would pay off the student loans of every single student. If I had to flip it.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Let's see. So I want to do some links real quick, and then we're going to go into some Mograph recommends. As I only got a couple links, but this is so weird. I had a link to this animation, and it's really good, and I cannot remember the context in which I saved this. I don't remember if somebody sent it to me, if somebody like Instagrammed it to me, or suggested it, or if it was somebody that worked on the project, or if it was something that I just liked. It is called A Night in Camp Heebie-Jeebie. And I'm like, I have this bookmarked, and it's a really great piece. It's like got some great character animation. I cannot remember for the life of me where I got this link. It's so weird. I usually remember all of this, or I'll bookmark something because I'm like, oh, I'll remember when I open my bookmarks. No idea, but it's really good. Check it out. It's an animated short horror comedy, and it's on YouTube, so check it out. And also, I am trying desperately to see if we could get somebody from Insidium to come on the show and talk to us.
Yes.
And
yes,
we've been talked to Bob, and he's got to get permission from his high ups and whatnot. But I just keep seeing stuff that they're teasing with Insidium.
Yeah. I am very excited about what they've got coming up.
So many.
I love X Particles.
Yeah.
I was very intimidated by X Particles when, forever. And then I started using it more often, and it's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Especially having moved over to Real Flow or something like that, and understanding Real Flow and some of these other particle generators, it's like, okay, X Particles makes a bit more sense now.
TFD as well,
TFD, yeah.
TFD too. It's the same thing. Once you learn like these basics, it gets a little bit easier.
A lot of the particle systems are very similar.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, TFD is technically particles.
It is.
You're not like seeing the individual particles, but that's kind of what is creating plumes of smoke and other things. So, but Insidium did there's a tweet, and it's a coming soon. They've got it's Terraform FX. So I think EJ posted this on Twitter or retweeted it or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, throwing shade at World Creator." And so that's interesting. There's a lot of other tools that they're coming out with besides just like basic particle stuff, and the particles really have evolved. They at first they didn't do liquids and things. You had to go over to Real Flow. Now you have that option, and they're really building on all of this. So I'll be interested to see where that goes.
They've also got like some new mesher or something like that.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool.
See, that's why I want to try and get them on the show. I know like it's hard because they're probably developing and they can't talk about certain things and whatever. But maybe we could at least line something up so that whenever it does come out, we can get them on and talk, because there's a lot of people over there that we've actually met over the years, and it would be fun to chat. We never really get to chat about what they're working on.
They were a sponsor for Camp Mograph
last year,
the previous year.
Yeah. So let's go to Mograph Recommends. We're going to ask you some of your favorite things, have a little bit of chat, and kind of learn what drives, I think, some of your, like what some of your influences are to your art, because everything you do in your life makes up your influences and your art. So
Yeah.
it's fun to hear whether or not you like Breaking Bad or The Wire or whatever. Kevin's gonna chime in here in a second. You'll hear him just go off about Breaking Bad or The Wire. We're gonna start out though with your favorite movie, and these can be all times or recent. It's either or both, up to you. So what you been?
I love Moonrise Kingdom. I think anything by Wes Anderson is
Moonrise Kingdom is very good.
impeccable.
Yes.
You can't laugh. You will. I think the first Twilight movie is very aesthetically pleasing.
Sorry, I'll be back later.
Was it this shot of when oh gosh, what's Edward Cullen is like holding onto the desk, like just trying to keep himself from ripping apart every person in
It's so
I read
funny.
all the books. All the books. I saw all the movies.
The color
Except the
grading,
last one. I didn't care for that.
right? Like the color grading on the first one's off the walls. Like I just think that's so fun that they just said on the blue slider, just like
Yeah. So
But,
are
yeah.
you team, what is it? Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Edwards. There's no teams anymore.
There's
The
not.
fourth one cleared it all up.
I know
because,
nothing about this.
Spoiler alert, the werewolf fell in love with their child. Because that's not weird.
yeah,
Oh.
really weird.
Turns out he's Brad Pitt the whole time.
Turns out what?
Twilight
Anyway.
memes are the best thing ever.
They're all right. They're all right.
Interesting. What other movies?
I don't watch a lot of movies. I think I watch a lot of shows.
Yeah. Okay.
Like what?
I'm, like,
That's
that
another one on
show
the...
person.
Yeah.
I watch I love the BBC's Sherlock. I think it's fantastic.
Very good. Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I think obviously Game of Thrones, you know, I feel like that has to be in there because it's so beautifully cinematically. Downtown Abbey has some scenes that look like paintings, like Renaissance paintings. It's incredible. And then Booksmart, that's a movie. Booksmart, so good.
Oh, I think I saw that movie. It's What's the premise on that again?
Premise is it's two high school girls, best friends, very valedictorian, have done things always right, and then they decide to go crazy the night before their graduation. And it's a very wholesome movie, I think, to watch. It's a very it reminds you of 90s rom-coms, and it's definitely very nostalgic.
It's kind of
watch that.
I don't really remember
that looks
it.
right up my alley.
I know I watched it, but it's weird. I don't really remember the premise, but
Olivia Wilde directed it.
Yeah.
Really?
I was just thinking about
Crazy, yeah.
Huh.
It was really good. The script is fantastic.
It's almost seemed like it had a vibe of what's that movie? Superbad in a way to me.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like that from what I can remember. Have you seen Palm Springs?
I have not.
Oh
Oh my
Springs
gosh.
is so good.
It is
It's
on Hulu.
so good.
Add it to your list.
I'm gonna add it on.
It
Yeah.
does not get enough credit. Palm Springs is such a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
gonna add it on.
check that one out. Any other shows?
Anything by Marvel, their new shows, WandaVision, insane. Motion graphics on it, insane.
Yeah.
Loki,
Loki is killer. Love it.
it's so good. The title sequence.
Yeah. Have you watched Doctor Who?
I have. I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay. Benedict Cumberbatch is not in Doctor Who.
Wait,
I'm talking
I thought it was
Doctor Who, not Doctor
I
Strange.
thought about Doctor Strange.
Close enough. One of
No,
those
I
doctors.
haven't watched Doctor Who.
Okay, I was just curious because you said Sherlock, and the writer
yeah.
of Sherlock also wrote a ton for Doctor Who, and I feel like if you like Loki, it has a very similar Doctor Who vibe or whatever.
Are the motion graphics good? For Loki, I haven't seen Loki yet, so.
Oh man, you got to watch Loki.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Did Perception do them? Because they did the other ones.
They might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can't
so
think of
smart.
anything in particular with the motion graphics. I mean, there's it's all 3D stuff.
I mean,
I
WandaVision
think-
was good. So
Do you know like the letters in the beginning where it says Loki and they switch?
Yeah.
I lost it, and my boyfriend
Mhm.
was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Like they're just letters switching, and I was like, "No, this is so smart, right? Because they're like variants and they're different
Right.
versions of him. So the letters change, and I was like, "Who designed this? Like, brilliant."
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out now. It sounds
You've
good.
got to.
Yeah.
It's a very. We've been watching it week to week.
Well, if
and
it's very.
Well, if it's very. We watch it week to week, and I hate that I can't binge it because it is very good. It's very good. And they're I mean, I'm sure they're just prepping for the next group of movies and stuff like that. So, because the new Doctor Strange movie is I think it's got what's Wanda, I think she's in it as well. Anyway,
Amanda,
Yeah.
how do you feel about shows coming out weekly as opposed to bingeable?
Great for my mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm so pissed off that happens, but like I think it makes it like it gives you something to look forward to, and it gives you like not an excuse to like sit there for hours and finish it like in 2 days.
yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think it can either help or hurt
Mhm.
in different ways. But it's almost like sometimes if a show, I feel like the rule is 3. The rule is 3 episodes. I feel like to really know if you want to watch something, you got to watch 3 episodes. Or you have, if it's a movie, you've got to watch it 3 times. Like Big Lebowski, there's a unwritten rule: you have to watch it 3 times before you really like understand the meaning of it. Or kind of like going.
Is there a meaning of it? I don't know if there's a
Or
meaning of
like,
the Big Lebowski.
I guess the meaning isn't a good description of what I'm talking about, but just to get the memes and the jokes and just the background, like really what it is. And I feel like Breaking Bad, for example, I started Breaking Bad a couple times, and until I got to episode 3, I really didn't feel like I really was into it. And when you can binge something, you can watch those first 3, as opposed to when it's on TV, you can't watch those first 3 right away.
Yeah. I get you there.
So
Loki had me from episode 1. I was in.
Do you think it's different that because it's Marvel, they know that they can do that because you already know the characters,
They've already
right?
got
Like, do you
you.
think that changes?
Yeah.
possibly,
I can see that.
yeah.
Because
But-
Loki starts off like right at Endgame, right? When he disappears in Endgame. Have you seen Endgame, Dave?
Parts of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Anyway.
all the stories. I know everything. Here's the thing: is that Julie watches all these movies like on loop or whatever. So I know all the premises of these. I've seen a lot of them in chunks. I get it. The problem for me, it's that I'm just not that into superhero stuff. I try.
That's okay.
I try. I feel like I do pretty well considering. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the
Fair.
superhero movies. So, like, the way I see it is superhero movies aren't necessarily just superhero movies. For example, Endgame. Endgame was a heist movie. Like that's what it was.
a heist movie,
But
huh?
it was a heist movie, but
Rick Sanchez wouldn't like that.
right? No. But it's a heist movie, but you've got all the superheroes in it and stuff like that. And that's kind of what all of them are, you know?
By the way, Rick and Morty last night was very good.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
yeah.
I haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it today.
That's how I spent my 4th. Because we did most of our stuff on Saturday. I went out last night fireworks hunting with my drone.
Yeah.
And then watched Rick and Morty. That was my 4th.
Yeah.
I got some good
man,
shots.
I went over to a friend's house and he lives out on a bunch of acreage, and he bought a ton of fireworks wholesale.
Nice.
So, and probably spent $2,000 on wholesale fireworks, which means he probably got $10,000 worth of fireworks. He set them all up to where he could just let them go. Dude, it was fireworks going for 15 minutes straight.
Celebrate
and
the
not
birth
just,
of
like,
your
one at a
country by
time. It
blowing
was,
up a
like,
small part of
right.
it. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Right.
Last
night, I think the funny part was when I was drone hunting, someone kind of across this major street here was setting off a ton of them. And the street was just like, it's banned where we are, right? So the street was covered in smoke. I mean, it was so hazy, foggy from all these fireworks. And literally on that street, there's a giant digital billboard that the police put out that says no fireworks, $2,000 fine. It was so hilarious. They don't care.
Yeah.
Can it happen that you're like doing your drone thing and a firework can like hit it if they set off?
Oh yeah,
totally.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I kept my distance and kind of zoomed in a little, and it was dark, so you have to take precautions if you're flying like that. I got landing lights and things, but you have to stay pretty high up because your sensors can't see obstructions and stuff in the dark. So yeah, but no, it was fun. It was a good episode of Rick and Morty. Tell us though, music. Let's switch to music because you were talking about the fact that like whenever you're working in animation, you really like to cut to music. So what do you like to listen to, and what do you like to animate to?
Yeah, I love to animate to classical music. And I know this is gonna sound so wacky, but like my first reel, which oh my god, just really bad, but it was still classical music. I remember that being a whole debate. I love classical music when I love like French pop. I love French pop.
French
I think it's sick.
Do you listen to the French Monkeys music?
No, I don't. Like, I listen more to like Polo Pan. They're like a French like techno pop thing, and I think they're great. I listen to a lot of pop. I think pop is just like great. Willow Smith has been making some really dope music.
Yes.
Like,
what's that one song? It's gonna drive me. Matt, you know what I'm talking about? That one Willow Smith jam that I
whip my hair back and forth.
No,
Right.
my
not
hair
that
back
one.
and forth.
Not that
No,
one.
that one. That's the only one I know. I'm sorry.
she like released Transparent Soul, and she released Wait a Minute, and they
Wait
like
a Minute.
crashed. Yeah, so good.
Yes.
She's so good.
It's Wait a
Just,
Minute.
like crazy.
When Matt and I were at NAB in our convertible Camaro, I was blasting that song, and he's like, "Who is this? This is pretty good." And I'm like, "You're not gonna believe who this is." Yeah, you don't
It's
remember
her, and like
Parents just don't understand.
it's so sick. And like Montero by like Lil Nas X, masterpiece.
I love everything about Lil Nas X, and like everything he does on social, his TikToks, his whole everything. He gets it.
No,
he gets
So
it.
Old Town Road. I will never. I'd be happy if I never heard that song again. My kid listened to it so many times, and he will randomly just start singing Old Town Road, and it's like at the most inopportune times.
It's my guilty pleasure song for a while, I gotta admit.
Yeah.
But it was overplayed.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but
I think it blew up, and then COVID happened, and then people forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's see. Any other music before we go to the next question?
Miley Cyrus, Always Forever, great musician, killer voice. Yeah, I think that's it.
Podcasts. Do you ever listen to podcasts? I guess is always the first question. And what are they?
You can say no. It's okay.
I feel like it'd be less embarrassing to say no. I listen to this podcast, and it's called My Favorite Murder, and it's like a crime, a crime podcast. And I listen to it when I'm working, and I find it so interesting because like it has like a lot of history and like how these cases were solved, and it's kind of scary, but it's also I think really informative of like what to do and like what to spot, and it's just like really interesting.
Oh, and like potential like murderers, kind of like psychos.
In Florida, there's a lot of human trafficking. Like there's a lot of human trafficking, and there's like definitely
a lot of in Florida too.
Yeah, so it's like there's definitely been some like human trafficking scams down here that like if I haven't seen, like my friends have seen, and it's very creepy.
So you're talking about like the way like people mark doors and cars and all that kind of weird like.
Like they'll come up to you like at Target. Like it was a really big problem down here. Like people like they would have teenage girls go up to other teenage girls at Target and like ask to hang out and then take them because like girls trust girls more than they do like men.
That's crazy.
It's like so
How do they
weird.
get those girls to go up and take them? That's just.
Because it's like if you meet like you can meet a friend like at Target or you can meet a friend like at a bar or anywhere like and if it's a girl asking you to hang out, you don't really think about it twice when you go to their house like hang out or like the mall, right?
But
Like
why
all
are
they need to do is get you alone.
Why are they involved in the first place though? It's like that's
The
crazy.
girls?
Yeah.
The girls that are trafficked, like the victims.
But the ones that are getting other girls, they're already involved. How are they involved? Like why
They're
are
the victims.
and they're
They're the girls that are trafficked. They use the girls that they traffic to get more girls. It's like a really, really sad and heartbreaking cycle.
So even though
Yeah.
they're free because they're out there trying to get others, why don't they try and I guess escape at that point?
I mean, there's Stockholm Syndrome. A lot of times the clients of child service, child trafficking are in police officers, like in stations. Like that's a really popular thing. Like when you're in a situation where you're like, when they threaten everyone you know in your life, I don't think like you have the flexibility of just running to the next person, right? Because they can always say that girls are hysterical or like, oh, it's just my daughter, she's freaking out, like
Right.
it's a really big power imbalance between like a child or a woman and like a grown-ass man with a network,
Right. And I
So
know
sad.
it's bigger than most people know. I know it's bigger than I'm aware, and I keep hearing like that it's such a big thing, but people just
It is.
don't know to what extent, I do see things sometimes online. I'm not sure how much of it is, sometimes it's real, sometimes it's fake. Like there'll be the urban legend about, oh, if you flash your headlights at somebody, it's usually because you're warning them like their lights aren't on, right? Oh, but if you flash your lights, these gangs, they leave their lights off on purpose so that when you flash your lights at them, then they shoot you. Like there's all these urban legends like that I
Never
don't
heard
think
that.
are real. But then you start seeing similar things online about, oh, well, they'll mark your car by putting this X on it. And it's like, is that a real thing? Is that an actual human trafficking thing or not? And yeah.
It depends. It depends by place. But I think like listening to like and reading about like victims like, explaining or spreading awareness about it is like super important, especially for like any young woman or like any woman to know and to like spot.
Yeah.
So
And me having a daughter, of course, I'm like super
Yeah.
concerned about that. It makes you so nervous. It's like, oh, you
As
want to
it
go do something on your own? Even in the neighborhood, right? It's like
Mhm.
growing up, kids just ran all over the place for hours and you didn't know where they were. And it's just so different. Kind of sad, but. So that
my kid, he runs around. I say, okay, just don't get kidnapped in a joking
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's a sad podcast, but it like
Yeah.
Any other podcasts?
Yeah. Any other podcast?
Maybe some more uplifting ones?
I
Or is
love
it all-
listening to NPR. I love
Yeah.
NPR.
Did you listen to
Um,
Serial?
I didn't have it. I mostly listen to Code Switch a lot. And I enjoy that one.
Which one is that?
It's the one that talks about like race and like interactions between races and racism and like kind of like politics. And it's really interesting because they bring on like a variety of people to talk about like their background, and it's really like enlightening to hear like all these stories.
There's a lot of good podcasts that NPR does. They're really good. But they got that training. They got that experience in talking like this. This is NPR.
I know.
It's so
exciting. You're
calming.
like, oh. You're like, ah.
All right.
Do you guys have any favorites?
Well,
Or suck. I suck.
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't get to
Don't listen to
listen to them
anything
that
good.
often anymore, but the one that I still try to keep up with is Back to Work with Merlin Mann. That's like my favorite. But if you want to get something that's comedy, My Brother and Me, got to go for that. It's good stuff.
It's very good, yes.
Yeah. One of Lin-Manuel Miranda's favorites. Right? Right? All right. The next thing on the list is your favorite plugin.
Is Octane considered a plugin?
Well,
It's.
oh,
I'm
that's
trying
what I was going to
reach
ask
here.
you earlier. That's what I forgot. Yeah, yeah, render engines. Okay, let's talk about them for a split second here. It can't be
Okay.
your plugin. You're going to have
Okay.
to give us a separate plugin. But what
Okay.
render engine do you use?
I use Octane, like 99.9% of the time.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to learn Redshift, but I'm not in it. I just love Octane so much. But like I know Redshift is like more popular right now for like production. So I'm like grudgingly trying to use it more now. It's also included like in cinema, so I don't have to like pay for it, which is really convenient now.
It's good to
Well,
know. I mean,
technically, you're still paying it.
Yeah.
well, it's good to know many engines because you never know. You know, you get
Yeah.
out there and start working for another company, or you work freelance, and all of that. So, so back to the plugins thing then. Besides the render engines, do you have a specific kind of plugin that you either use in 2D, 3D? That's kind of like your go-to, or
I don't think I use any plugins. I don't think.
not
I
at
don't
all?
think I use any.
Not even like filters or anything like that?
Nope.
All right.
No,
Well, then we'll have to by
nothing.
default say that Octane is your engine then.
It's my.
Yeah. Next one on the list is app. Your go-to app on your phone. Like, do you have like a muscle memory app that's like
TikTok.
it's TikTok?
It's TikTok. It's
Oh
become
Yes.
man,
TikTok.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So good. So addicting.
Yeah.
So addicting.
Right?
So it's funny. So I got some AirPods, which I recommend to anyone. I bought some for my birthday. It was my birthday present to myself, right? And I bought some, and I have used them every single day since. I didn't think I would use them at all, but the amount of times that I'm like, oh, I want to watch TikTok, but I'm out in public. And then I realize, oh, I have a way to watch TikTok to where people won't know, you know. I lost them the other day, and I lost them for like a week, and you could see that my internet usage went down significantly over that week because I lost my AirPods.
Can't you find
They're
them?
so great.
You can when they're right next to you.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
won't tell you, but like I don't know.
I feel
Yeah,
like they
it's-
should build in that little like tile like
They
thing.
should.
What is it
They
called? The
absolutely
Apple
should. Apple, yeah.
Apple.
something locator,
Locator or
beacon.
something.
Beacon? Is it
Yeah.
called a beacon?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's like a tag.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
an Apple tag.
They should put that in the headphones. What's up with that?
They
Apple?
should. They're so good because you can also put them in and like lay down, so you can like be in bed if
Yeah.
like someone's next to you and you don't want to wake them up and like just be on
Yep.
TikTok for hours.
I do
Yeah.
that with the aftershocks, and this is what Clinton Jones turned me on to, is the ones that don't go over your ear, but they go like around your ear, so that's like bone conducting, so you can still
Yeah.
hear. And I bought Julie some because she was going walking, and she borrowed mine. And she liked them because she doesn't like the kind of buds that you put in your ear. She just doesn't. She just can't stand that. And when you go out, you don't really want to like go for a walk in the street with giant Bose headphones on, because A, you can't hear traffic, and B, you sweat in those things, you know, like the little leather pads, they start to fall apart and the flakes get all over you.
Yeah.
So I kind of do the same thing y'all do with the headphones, and I put these on, I listen to TikTok, but the funny thing is nobody around you knows that you're listening. So I'll just be sitting there and Julie's talking to me, and she's like, she'll say something and I'll completely miss it because I didn't
Yeah.
hear her because I was like immersed in my TikTok. But yeah, TikTok is so great.
The algorithm works. Your video came up
Yeah.
on my For You page, and I wasn't even like I didn't even know you had a TikTok, and it came
Oh,
up,
that's
and I was like,
funny.
it
That's
works.
funny. Yeah.
It really
I think
does.
it's also based. It also based things on who you follow, and who your friends are,
friends'
who they
friends.
follow, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Somebody that
Oh.
I went to high school with actually commented on one of those videos, and it was like, this showed up on my For You page. Like, how
that's funny.
are you in my TikTok feed? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so great.
Funny story. we had a babysitter slash nanny or whatever who was watching our kid for like 6 months, last year during the pandemic, and she started doing TikTok. So I'm swiping through my For You page one day, and she shows up. I'm like, wow, this girl looks a lot like. Oh, it is, And then it's like you wanna comment or say something and be like, hey, I found you, but it's not like you don't want to be like, hey, I'm creepy, I found you,
found you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you play any?
TikTok's the future. Sorry.
What? It is the
I
future.
said TikTok is the future. I feel like Instagram in the motion design community is just gonna.
TikTok is okay. TikTok is great right now because there are funny things and informative things. Once your timeline is 100% politics, that's when it's all.
But it
gonna go
doesn't
away.
have to be.
It doesn't have to be,
because you can just say I don't like this, and it won't show you that anymore.
Yeah, you would think that, but I say that on Facebook all the time, and I still get all the politics.
I have a theory, and I want to know if you guys agree. Sorry, this triggered something I was meaning to ask
you're fine.
you guys. I keep telling everyone this. In my brain, people and Hank Green exist in the same place.
People
and Hank Green, they kind of they're just they're so similar. They talk similarly.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
I've told people this theory, and they either agree or they don't know what I'm talking about.
I get it. I don't know. I know people. I know people so well,
that's why.
and have hung out with him
be.
so much
That
to where
might be
it's
it.
like. It's a little, maybe.
It's probably because you know him.
Hank Green is a bit. I don't know. Dang, I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Hank Green is out of pocket. He's so funny and
He is funny. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Does he look like he? Well,
It looks a little bit.
Maybe a little
and
like
he's
him.
kind of like
Yeah.
he lives in, I don't know, some weird place where you
He lives
wouldn't
in
expect.
Montana.
Montana, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up north. Yeah.
Right?
Who are some of your favorite TikTokers then?
Oh, I don't think that's so weird. I don't think I have favorites. I just live in my For You page. Most of
Right.
my favorites of the people I follow are home renovation TikToks. So
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, I love watching people redo their spaces and their floors and cleaning TikTok. I'm on cleaning TikTok.
Yeah. Vanessa, the cleaning lady.
Yeah, with the scrub daddy.
Scrub daddy. Heck yeah.
Oh, I see. I haven't come across that yet. I guess the algorithm doesn't think I like
that.
that.
We mentioned it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the account called Karen's Lives Matter, and it's all Karen's. It's all Karen's having complete breakdowns, and it is so entertaining to me.
Did y'all see?
Sorry.
Did y'all see the Karen in my hometown or my town this past week?
No.
Driving a tractor for the 4th of July parade, and the cops told her that they said, no, you can't be in this. You can't be in this because you're causing a ruckus or whatever. And she just snuck her way in to the end of the line. And the cops, there's this video of the cops running after her, and she's just barreling it straight through. Oh man, hilarious! I'll have to send
I
it
saw
to
a good one where this woman was having a breakdown because people were lighting fireworks in the neighborhood.
Yes, I saw that
don't
one,
understand.
and I actually felt bad for her because she could have been experiencing some crazy PTSD from fireworks, and it's
that's what I was wondering.
You know what? I didn't consider that a Karen
The thing
moment.
is, most likely she wasn't. Most likely she was just pissed, but that did go through my mind. Well, maybe there's a reason for it, and if so, then that's understandable.
We don't know.
Yeah.
If you like that page, you'll influencers in the wild. It's just people recording influencers being influencers, doing the same pose over and over again. So funny.
It's funny.
There are some good ones out there. There are some really good ones.
Did you have you seen the one of the girl who talked like Dora the Explorer?
Yeah.
And she does the that means can you make me a sandwich? And her mom
throws it at her. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
that was
good.
so good. Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah. I think like 99% of what me and my friends share now are just TikToks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because like we're all kind of like diving into this new obsession in the way that you would like Facebook or something. Oh, always on Facebook,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel the same way. It doesn't feel. It feels like there's something actually that you're getting out of it for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the variety. Like you
Yeah.
can learn so many things on TikToks and then see like funny shit and then like news and it's like you feel like you're getting everything and like it feels productive because you're learning, but you're just like there scrolling for hours.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting too because it's not like in the world of like art and like NFTs or Instagram, you still have there's still a place for Instagram for posting something you do on Instagram. You're not going to go to TikTok and just post your animation. There's no like entertainment value. It's kind of a different feel. Like maybe you would post it and say, I made this thing. Check out how I made it at this
I follow
other site.
Stu, and he posts stuff a
Yeah.
lot.
Shams does it too.
Shams
has, like,
as well. Yeah.
a shit ton
We got a lot of
followers.
followers.
But
yeah.
she'll talk on it though. A lot of
Yeah.
her videos, she'll say something and then show
I do.
something. Yeah, that whole
Yeah.
this is what I do.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
thing. I think that's kind of like the introduction. You get to meet the person, and then you learn. Oh, they run this thing. They run this channel. They have this thing they sell. Whatever it is, it's kind of like a behind the scenes look at stuff that's going on. I
But,
like the feel.
That's so indicative, right? Because I feel like the industry, apart from TikTok, is moving that way anyways, right? You just don't want faceless art anymore. You want to know who the artist is and where they're from.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Where they come from.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
see like their day to day, and then like it gives you a sense of their personality, and there's more value if you're gonna go buy their NFT. It's like, well, I know I'm buying this because I know the person that I'm buying from now. So, yeah,
Totally.
yeah. Let's go to the next
That was a fun
question,
rant.
which is I know we're gonna have to like start building in like your favorite TikToks as part of
Right.
Yeah.
this now.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Because it's just like
Funny.
everybody's into it. The next question though is favorite video game, if you play video games,
I don't. I'm lame.
or even games on your phone. No games at all.
Mm-mm. No games. I like.
Man.
I'm so boring.
Not even Mario.
I grew up in a no video game household, and that was it. So I never like grew the muscle or like the liking for video games.
Yeah. I get that.
It wasn't like no video games household, but it was like the type of household where you get a Nintendo when Super Nintendo comes out.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Oh man, we bought a Super Nintendo almost like the first week or two that it came out. We were up till we got up so early the morning after we got it so that we could continue playing Super Mario World. Super Mario World, man, that one's my jam. I can beat it in 32 minutes.
It's like, Mom and Dad, can I get a Super Nintendo? You have video games at home.
You have a Nintendo at home.
And it's an Atari 2600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I've been playing a lot of Mario 3 lately because of a TikToker, like 1980s gamer or whatever his name is. Like I watch him all the time and he plays Mario 3 live all the time and it's like, oh man, I miss this game. So
TikTok, the power of TikTok.
All right, now this is the last one. This is a difficult question, and I'm going to ask for the answer, and I'm going to have to run to the restroom in order to make it through the drop or whatever. But the last question is your favorite life hack, and the example is always Mitch Myers. You turn the toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese. That's his life hack. Now, this doesn't have to be that kind of a life hack. It could also
doesn't have to be about grilled cheese.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be about grilled cheese. It could be about productivity, something as far as like your day-to-day, something you live by, whatever that is. And, you know, I'm going to go to the restroom, and when I come back, maybe y'all will have figured out the answer. So I'll be right back.
It's a hard question. Does everyone else like sit in here and think a little bit about
Absolutely. They're all like, I have no idea. And if anyone would actually read the emails that we would send them, they would know that this question is coming up. I told you, motion designers are the worst at reading emails. I'm guilty of it. Dave gets mad at me all the time because I don't read any of his emails.
Oh. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Anything productivity-wise, accounting-wise? Is there an accounting life hack that you have?
Oh, actually, I do have a life hack that's made emailing so much easier.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's like, get a Calendly. It's like so
okay.
simple, but when like, especially when you're freelancers, studios are like, we want to meet, like we want to talk and like learn what you're about, let's meet, right? And you're like, what about this time? And usually there would be like a back and forth of like 5 emails between like things changing or one person being available at one time or not being available at another time. So like I just made a Calendly and I said, here are the times that I'm available. It changes in real time. Schedule through this or not. Just know that like these are my times. Like anything works for me. Just pick one. And it's just like reduce 4 or like 5 emails to like 1.
Yeah. Dave uses Calendly a lot. We use Calendly for the Camp Mograph, like scheduling all of our teachers and stuff like that. It's been very convenient. Yeah. Yeah, totally. That's a very good life hack.
I'm glad.
Dave's not back yet.
I'm glad. I feel like I need more life hacks.
I don't know. I feel like if you don't need any life hacks, maybe you're doing life pretty well. Like, you're like, I have hacked life so well that I don't need any life hacks.
No, I need so many. All
right, I just got back. What did I miss?
The life hack is use Calendly.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
To,
I like that one.
Minimize the amount of emails that you have to send back and forth.
Right?
Yeah.
That is always the worst. Like, when are you available? Well, I could do 3 o'clock on Thursday, or I could do Friday. Yeah, that's... I'll take it further. You want to know more Calendly hacks?
Okay, well, you're doing that, taking it further. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I wish you would. Calendly bathroom breaks. Here's what I do. I go in, and I set the base schedule and when somebody could have a meeting with me. I go in and I say, okay, well, obviously not Mondays, right? So anytime on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, between the hours of, let's say, 11 and 5, or maybe 11 and 7, because I don't want anybody trying to schedule a meeting with me at 10 a.m. I'm drinking my morning coffee. It's like what's his name says in Stranger Things, mornings are for coffee and contemplation. So, like, no meetings early. So I set that as the base, and then I have it pull from my availability on the calendar. And then I'll put holds on my calendar on purpose. Like, I'll say, like, okay, Friday afternoon, I have a couple things I want to do, but they're not on my calendar. I haven't really, like... You don't put, like, little small tasks on your calendar, like send someone an email. That's not going to go on your calendar. But if you have, like, a time block where you know you're going to be busy, just put in a block and say hold, and then Calendly won't schedule. But then you can send a link out, and people can click, and they can schedule anything they want in that other time that's open.
That's sick.
At that point.
I'm going to do that.
But,
I'm
yeah,
gonna do that.
That is totally a good one.
Calendly
Perfect
saves
timing.
lives.
That's back. See? I know how to do filler. All right. Let's see.
Let's get into the drop.
Let's get into the drop. Are you all ready? You got your notes and things?
Yep. Got it up.
All right. Cool. All right. Here we go. Let's go to the drop.
The drop.
Is this the fucking mic?
Drop.
This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead, as joined always by Dave Koss. Joining us this week is Amanda Godreau.
What's up?
Thanks for joining us. All right, cool. Let's get into the weekly this week's drops. Let me open up my my drop list. Where's the drop list?
Yeah, I have to open up my drop list too that you sent me.
Cool. Got a bunch of really good artists this week. I'm excited. I'm really excited about a couple of these because they're very like illustrative 3D, like the anime style. Like it looks like Arnold toon renderer type stuff, you know? Really, really exciting.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the proper way to say it illustrative or illustrative?
I don't know.
Is illustrative like just a fancy way to say it, or is that actually the correct way to say it?
I think I don't know. Is it illustrative? Illustrative.
I don't know. That's what I'm
Illustrative?
asking. Illustrative sounds
I think
better.
it's illustrative. Yeah.
I like that better. All right, let me bring up the things here so I can bring them up on the stream. There we go. Got the links ready to go, Matt. All good. Why can't I open these links? There we go.
I don't know. Why can't you?
Okay, hold on. I'm just moving my things around.
This
Go
first one is Baka Arts. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. This was the one that I was really excited about. I think this one's really cool. This one's dropping today on the 5th of July.
This is Nifty.
This is on Nifty. Right, we're into the Nifty stuff. But I love this. It's all like, it looks illustrative. I don't think that's the right word. Illustrative.
Might be.
Anyway, but yeah, it has a very similar like Arnold toon renderer type stuff, but I really like it.
Cool.
So that one is today. Tomorrow we've got Crypto Arg, which so I posted this one. I've noticed that this week that Nifty is doing something new where it's like an NFT like organization or something is being the one who they're showing off, but they've got a bunch of different artists.
Oh, it's like a collective that they're showing?
A collective, yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I gotcha.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And so the collective is the one doing the drop, which is interesting. So this is one of them. But this particular one is just one of the artists within the collective because they didn't show off a lot of stuff. So anyway, neat stuff. Yeah. Next up, we've got, and this is for tomorrow. The next one is Glass Crane. I absolutely love this piece. I think it's so pretty. Love the colors, love the subsurface on the skin. You know, it's got that, you know, I don't know, the shiny subsurface skin, like Daz character.
Daz character with snakes.
So hot right now.
Gotta have the snake.
You know, but I love the colors. I think it's gorgeous. But you know, then again, it's like, is this what's actually going to be released on you know,
right, yeah,
on Nifty? But it's pretty, yeah. Then July 7th, we've got starting off Gary Cartilage. Reminds me very much of like Ferocious and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. I liked it. You know, very 2D. It's not illustrative, but it's more like Photoshop. You know, what's the word? Where you cut out a bunch of stuff and stick.
Oh, collage.
Like collage, yeah, collagey. It's very collagey.
Yeah,
you know,
collagey.
Next one is, I'm gonna botch this title. Ekazita, Ekiaza.
Oh, that's a toughie, man. I can't help you there. Ekaitza.
So this one is another one of the collectives, but I think so this is one of the artists within this collective. They're doing this like this person created a model, from the way I understand it. It's and so there's this collective called Time to Rise, and they got a whole bunch of artists to use this model in order to create some NFT art specifically off of it, which was cool. I thought that was a really neat premise. You know, that's a good way to do a collective like that. So that was the name of the collective, you know, and a bunch of artists within that. It's cool. So the 8th of July, we've got Jason. I'm gonna mess up this name, but everyone should know who this is because we've talked about him in the past. Jason Ebayer, I believe. Ebayer. Okay. I want to say, yeah. The super. So you can't tell it from here, but Jason is the one who has done the super shiny, like really muscular Daz models and stuff like that. Click on his if you click on his
Twitter.
his profile, his Twitter profile or
Yeah.
whatever, and you go down a little bit.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. Super shiny,
Super shiny
very
people.
muscular. Oh, the super shiny people. So all these like super sexy, shiny people who just have way too much specular on their body
Shiny
than a normal
people.
person would have. But yeah, I think his stuff has done well in the past. I mean, I don't know how anything goes anymore. It's all just whatever nowadays.
All subjective
like-
these days.
It's all subjective.
That's
nowadays, Yeah. Also on the 8th, Robbie Trevino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, more of this illustrative stuff. I love this art. I think it's super pretty, and I think it's a collaboration with Aether, artist, musician. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Super
talk about
cool
Robbie
stuff.
again in a second too. We got another thing to bring up with that.
Oh, we will?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. And then on the 10th, last one on my list is Gold Weird. I always talk
Gold
about this
Weird.
person.
Yeah.
They're one of the first people that I was ever introduced to on Nifty Gateway, and it's crazy that it's the 1-year anniversary drop on Nifty Gateway, because I feel like this person
Wow.
has been around for 300 years dropping NFTs, and it's hard to believe that it's only been a year.
Mhm.
The NFT space, man, it lived and died real quick. Now it's just a part of everyday life, just like I always said it would be.
Well, yeah, I think
You know?
lived and died probably is a bad term for it. Like
Yeah,
it,
lived and then
overly crazy.
lived dangerously.
This is the
you know,
normalization.
and then calm down. Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, then moving over to Maker's Place. Tomorrow on the 6th, we've got Boss Logic is doing a drop, which I love myself some Boss Logic. Boss Logic, I think, is just a super talented artist.
What
Yeah,
is it?
I wish I had picked up. Boss Logic did a lot of the, I want to say, the like Marvel art, and they did they did a Wonder Woman one that I really wanted to buy, and then a I don't know how to explain it. Boss Logic just is big in the NFT space and like super talented. Yeah. I
The
believe.
Storm. It's called the Storm.
Yeah, it's called the Storm.
Yeah.
And then on the 7th, we've got Perry Cooper, which is doing a NFT drop called Packaged Holidays, which I thought this was pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Like,
kinda cool.
they're inside little suitcases, or like, really neat little stuff.
Oh, like little mini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super cool.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
I like that.
I like
Yeah,
anything that's like macro.
totally.
Macro
Yeah.
stuff is kind of cool. Yeah. I like
So,
the
and,
diver one. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then big shout out to Ariev. Congrats on his drop last week.
Oh,
I
yeah?
believe he made 15 grand off of the Down on the Render Farm one, and then sold a couple of them for like 1.5 ETH and like 2K and stuff like that. It was good. Congrats to Ariev. Super excited for him.
Cool.
That's it for the main drops. As far as community drops, we've got one community drop from Paul Robinson. He just hit me up like while the show was going. Dude, Paul, I gotta say, you are freaking killing it, man.
That's right.
Your work is so damn good. It's like this is just, it's so killer. So killer. All the robot stuff you've been doing lately is just absolutely fantastic. So
Paul and Sashia, we're going to be on in August. They're going to join us for a show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting. That's exciting. Super excited to have them on. So, but yeah, Paul, man, you've been killing it on this. So
Yeah.
this is dropping today, I guess, on Foundation. So super cool.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Dave, did you have any? You had some other stuff?
Yeah,
as well?
also wanted to bring up, I'll have a link in the notes here in the crypto links for the Wild Sun Collective. And so this is something, somebody that we just started talking to. We may do a show with them eventually, like one of our late night special NFT shows to talk a little bit more. Maybe bring on Windbush for that or something. We'll see. And what they're doing is they are doing books as NFTs, to where like you don't just get the book as an NFT. There's also a whole collective around it and around like the content of the book. And so they have this crazy list of like superstar NFT artists that they're working with. And I won't go into the whole list for now, but I will say that Windbush is on it, and also Robbie is on it as well. That's why I was saying earlier, like you should go look at their information on it is wildsuncollective.com. Now they also have kind of a blog where they're talking about certain things, a Medium thing, and they've got that listed on the site. But I like the idea of it's not just that you're getting a book or a publication, it's that it's sold as an NFT to kind of like verify, okay, now you have the rights to what's in it. So if you wanted to take that book and say, we're going to make a movie out of it, you have then the rights to do that because you own the NFT. So it's something interesting. I'll be interested to see where that goes as far as the industry, and if it picks up on that, because it's not just art, it's going to go into so many other things, and it's really just everything is going to be blockchain verified eventually.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think, eventually when you buy your house, it's going to be on the blockchain as well. All that contract stuff will be there. So
all the smart contract stuff. But we'll get them on, maybe talk a little bit more about it, because it's one of those things where like you see it and you're like, man, I have a million questions, and I don't even know where to start on that. But the whole rights thing was what really I thought was cool, and the fact that there's a collective around it. And I don't know if that means that like the artists are going to create NFTs specifically about the content in the book, or if they're just kind of doing the collective as kind of a separate thing. So I think it would be kind of cool if it was like, okay, now all of our artists are going to do their own interpretation of like, art to go along with the book. Because I think that would be cool. And just see like everybody's different idea of what they imagine it looks like before it's actually made into a movie or
it's
something.
like fan art.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So
cool.
Also, Amanda, you got some NFTs out there, right? You can tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I have the one.
You didn't advertise it though.
I didn't tell a soul. I kind of got it, and it's on the Sevens Foundation in the Genesis Grant exhibition, and it's like number 1, 2, 3. So it's like a really easy.
Nice.
Like, and it was like the first piece that I did based off of like my glass collection that like inspired like the pool girl and all these other renders. It's cool. Like, didn't tell anyone. This is the first time.
Where can we find that?
Yeah, where can people find all your?
So it's on the Sevens Foundation's website, but like the link is grants.art/gallery/123, and then that should take you directly to my NFT.
Cool. Uh-oh. Look who's here. Oh, wait. Hold on. Got to adjust a little. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Matt. How's
What's up,
it
Dorpy?
going?
It's good.
You're going to have to keep it down a little bit, if you don't mind. I drank a little bit too much last night for the 4th. I was sick as a dog.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
You weren't doing any other things, were ya?
Not as far as you know, narc.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, the 80s called. They want their narc back.
That's funny.
Yeah. I thought I was sick at first yesterday. Then I remembered that I was drinking. I was also a little hoarse. But then I remembered I'm just a little dog.
Okay. I don't know how well that one landed.
Yeah. So, I'm a little hungover. I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Just rest a little. And then maybe work on my Harry Potter canine fan fiction. Yeah, it's going to be called Labracadabra.
No.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
This is the part of the show where we play with puppets for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Did we warn you about that? We do that sometimes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Eventually, Dorpy's going to have his own show.
I
He's got his
know.
own TikTok.
Well, not his own TikTok, but he's on our TikTok.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, he takes over TikTok a lot, so.
Yeah.
Did we cover everything in there? I think we got
think
everything.
so.
We didn't have any other community drops to talk about.
If
so
you've got a community drop, feel free to email us info@mograph.com, and we will shill it on our show. But yeah, make sure to check out our full show, the Mograph podcast, every week Mondays at noon or
Central
11.
time.
Noon 11. Noon.
noon Central
Yeah,
time.
noon.
How long you been doing this?
289 episodes. You think
you'd
I know that
yeah.
by now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get out of the drop.
Let's get at it.
The drop.
Drop. Is this the fucking mic?
Drop.
This is exactly what I should be doing.
And we're
Pain
back.
pill, basically, like it's over now. I need to take another one.
You were
What's the
like
pro-
gone for a second. Your eyes were just gone.
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning or something.
Yeah. McGruff's. You better watch out, man. McGruff's gonna come down on you if you abuse
Hey,
that.
these are prescribed to me. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I normally like I don't know.
It's-
Me with pain pills, I try and stay off of them, and I think that was my problem. Is that for the first 2 or 3 days after my little surgery that I didn't take any pain pills, and then I kind of like pushed it a little too hard, and now I'm feeling
Oh, now
the
you're
adverse
hurting.
effects of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Take it easy, man. Don't go too crazy. You're out there
Yeah.
lighting off too many fireworks.
yeah, I know, right? I'm about to walk 12 miles a day at Disney World for the next 2
Right.
weeks. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Gotta get ready for
Amanda,
that.
if you want to go to Disney World, we'll be there. You can come hang out with us. You know,
Is Disney World the one in California or in Florida?
that's Disneyland. Disney World is the one in Florida.
See, you should know that.
Wow, don't you live in Florida?
Have you been there?
I think I was there once when I was 9, and I'm just like not a Disney person.
Oh,
That's
man.
okay. That's okay. Like, it's okay not to be a Disney person, but then as soon as you go, you're like, oh yes,
true.
I'm a Disney person now. I had never been before. I went for my honeymoon because my wife loves Disney, and I went, and we have been back every single year since, with the exception of last year. Last year was the first year that we hadn't been back.
Wow.
Well, maybe you
That's
should
crazy.
meet Matt there and just
Yeah,
check it out.
I've hung out with Bro Dur there before.
No.
I met his wife and his kid, his first kid. Yeah,
That's
this was
crazy.
a long time ago, but yeah, we all hung
Yeah.
out for the day. It was cool.
Funny. That's funny. That's cool.
Anyway,
Yeah, well, we appreciate you being on and
yes,
hanging out with us and joking around with us for a couple hours in between
Yeah.
doing all the things that you're doing right now. Trying to
Yeah,
get that school
excited.
wrapped up and whatnot.
excited you're coming to Camp Mograph.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun.
If people want to find you online, where's the best place to find you, see your stuff, get a hold of you?
Instagram, and it's just my name, Amanda Godreau, and then I'm also making a TikTok today, so
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
you can catch me there.
Make sure you send it to me.
I will.
Share
I
it with
promise.
me when you're done. I want to see it. And I'll share the clips of Dorpy with you as well, you know.
Brilliant.
I send every Shrek TikTok I find. I send that to Tokyo Megaplex.
Right.
I don't know why. It's just like I started doing it. Now every Shrek TikTok I find, I send it to him. It's good.
So funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. You can also subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. Helps get our ratings up. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter as well. Newsletter goes out every once in a while. Probably go out next week, I think. I'm not sure. And let's see. You can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph logo tee. That's classic. The Paul Babb classic shirt. Paul Babb, Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. Then there's the Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. That's our bestseller right there. And that render is Fire Shirt, which you are only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're Shams.
Unless you're Shams.
And then, what else? The Mograph Blandishment shirt, throwback-looking shirt as well. Get that. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Mograph.com. Make sure you come say hi to us on all the platforms. Send your emails to info@mograph.com. Questions, comments, concerns, ideas, all the things. We love hearing from everybody, so join us and hit us up if you want to be in our Slack. You must ask nicely to be in the Slack, and we approve those individually one by one so that it doesn't get too crazy up in there. And I think I covered all the bases with that. So yeah. Again, cool. Amanda, thank you so much again.
Yes.
And we'll be seeing you soon. And until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Amanda.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Bye.